It's Loud and Local Stay Home Sessions. Right now, I am talking with a band. They are no stranger to KISW. They are no stranger to Loud and Local. If we waited just like 3 more weeks, maybe a month and a half, we could probably do this in person. But you know what? We don't need to wait. The album's about to come out. Wyatt Olney The Wreckage, Silver Bullet, the album, highly anticipated record. I had it almost a year ago, probably, and I've been jamming it. But it's finally coming out. Congratulations, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it, man. You did get that way in advance. I think you were the first person I gave like a teaser copy to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was the album recorded at all during the pandemic, or was it done before?
So technically it was during the pandemic.
Okay.
The last 4 songs that we recorded for the record it was a session that was rescheduled due to the pandemic.
Yeah, it was originally set for April, and then we had to move it, and I think it wasn't until June or July, wasn't it?
Yeah,
July that we were able to get in. But it honestly kind of worked out in our favor because we really had to put a little extra juice, a little extra stank, and a little extra time into a couple tracks. It ended up being exactly what they needed. You know, it was the extra time we had to work on them.
Yeah, like Magna Carta was written during the pandemic. Like, had we not postponed, Magna Carta wouldn't have been on the record. I recorded the vocals for Crooked Angels while I was sick with COVID-19. That was super, super cool. And we didn't find that out till later. So,
yeah, I bet that was really great to be able to like have to try and yell and scream and sing with COVID. Yikes. Dude,
it's wild. And it took a long time for my vocal cords to heal, but I was gonna go back and re-record the vocals for that song, but when you listen to it, you can hear how much I'm straining for the notes, and it sounds really cool and it fits the vibe of the song a ton.
We like to hear Wyatt struggle.
Yeah, fair.
So you guys have been busting your ass, releasing a ton of really cool videos, and I'm on your YouTube right now, and I see like, what is it, like 5-6 music videos? How many music videos in total have you done? Like
7 off this record.
7. And these are not just like, you know, live studio band plays live. Like these are full on stories, like really well crafted. Tell me a little bit about like the vision of going into the rollout of this album, because you guys have been busting your asses.
Thanks, man. Well, what it came down to is we figured everybody else is on hold. Why don't we utilize the fact that we have a record that's pretty much done and start just releasing content and totally pivot? And it really, I'm grateful that everybody was in to do that. So we really didn't take any time off during the pandemic. It was immediately like, okay, now we're going to present this song to the world, and how do we want to do that? And we basically treated every single that we released like it was the album. Like we put as much promotion behind every single as we would an entire album drop. And so I think people are probably finally sick of hearing from us. Like it's kind of been like constant year of wreckage. So I'm sure there are plenty of people who are stoked that the record's going to be out and they don't have to hear from us again for a minute.
Album 4 is going to be called Ad Nauseam.
Well, I mean, you guys are very there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek jokes there, but I would say that the streams are evidence that people want more. You guys have been killing it as far as like your streams go with your singles and stuff. Has that been a pretty cool thing to see your streams just blow up over the last, couple months?
Dude, it kind of catches us off guard a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not really expecting it. You're expecting the numbers you're used to, and I mean, kind of a blessing in disguise. Like COVID hit, like our bubble, kind of like COVID friendly bubble, safe bubble, kind of formed like immediately, like almost clad. And so we were able to like really meet every week like we normally would.
Yep.
And we didn't have shows to prep for, so we got to really put extra mind into this stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
and the fact that everything has hit so massively is cool. Like obviously it's all relative. Like there are still 1,000 bands who would look at like numbers we've done lately and be like, oh, that's cute. But like for us, as soon as Swan Song did 100,000 in a week, we were shocked.
Yeah, that was baffling, really. Because like what I said, like you look on Spotify and you see that Sporty Spice, who hasn't had a hit since 1999, still has 4 million monthly streams.
But if you compare yourself to yourself, you guys are making crazy progress.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, we're kicking butt. I feel like we're all happy with it, and it's motivating us to not stop anytime soon.
Yeah, like it's really cool perspective that like Welcome to Seattle was the thing that everybody was like, oh, you'll never outdo that. That's your like crown jewel. You'll chase that forever. And everything we've released off this record so far has like by far and large absolutely demolished that.
You're like, that's cute.
Yeah, it's cool, dude. Like we're super grateful for it, and the fact that people give a damn what we do is still.
Well, so the album again is called Silver Bullet, and it's coming out on a label called Fuzzy Rump Records. Tell me a little bit about Fuzzy Rump Records. Is that
Go ahead, as our representative from our own imprint record.
Yeah, as the representative.
Oh, so is it DIY thing then?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mr. Branshaw and Mr. Rob Brennan over here. Mr. Fuzzy Rump.
So he's the A&R CEO, CFO, all of it. Okay, cool.
All of our mortal souls and our firstborn children.
He's our employer.
Yeah. So he's it was also a great way to stick it to the tax man, because what's more rock and roll than that?
Yeah.
If Nickelback can have their own label, I mean, we can have our own label.
Absolutely.
I always figured, if you get audited or something, what better way than have the person on the other line have to say Fuzzy Rump Records?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the company again?
Yeah.
So that answers the question. It wasn't hard to get signed.
Well, I had my doubts, to be honest. I mean, I've kind of known these guys over a couple of years, but I think, might be onto something.
They're worth signing. Yeah. No, it was just a means to an end. We were pre-pandemic. We were in talks with a label that we all really liked growing up, that signed a lot of our favorite bands growing up, and then the pandemic hit, and those conversations rolled right back.
Sure.
So we decided we can either hold on to the record and do nothing and have no funding, or we can just fund it all ourselves.
Yeah.
And
create your own timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's worked out really well.
Yeah, we were lucky too. Like, fortunate that during the pandemic, each of us were still able to work.
Yeah. So,
which isn't the same for everybody, unfortunately, but we were lucky, and that kind of helped us out. And, yeah. No, I want to say Fuzzy Rump Records.
Say it. Okay.
Things too with the pandemic is, in a weird way, it's actually presented a lot of creative opportunity. When we returned to the stage in April, it's really cool working with Tony V, for example. We handled all the ticketing ourselves in-house. Yep. It was all contactless. And for the people that didn't feel comfortable coming out to the show, they were actually able to contribute to the venue or to the band individually, and up to like 2/3 of our audience actually went that route as well, which was really awesome.
Yeah. The scene is eager to support, and everyone out there is dying for that creative outlet that we've missed so much, and to share those moments with each other. That it's cool to see them really step up in a time that the scene really needs them to bounce back from anything that is kind of been put on hold.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to direct this question to Kyle. So Kyle, bring us back to the first show back. You guys go on Tony V's. What was that feeling like after a year of not being able to grace the stage, of finally being able to come back on stage?
So that was the first show we played in a year with an audience, because we'd done 2 live streams during the pandemic.
Yep.
And those live streams had, the average nervousness, pre-show jitters. I remember being on stage at Tony's in this April, while we had hung up a massive 20-foot banner in front to do a curtain drop for our first song, Me and Wyatt are standing right back there, just staring at each other in the face, visibly shaking. Just, oh my God, we're about to play a show to people. This is are you ready? Are you ready? I'm not ready. Are you ready? No. It was nerve wracking, but about 2 songs in, maybe 1 song in, it started flowing and the machine started being oiled and everything started working out perfectly.
It's basically like losing your virginity.
To sum it up, yeah, it was like losing the stage virginity all over again. But it was a blast. And before it's nervous. You do all this prep work and you hope it's going to go okay, and you hope all the COVID precautions are met and everything is enforced so that everybody feels comfortable and safe and is willing to come out again.
Yeah. And
with that all on top of getting ready for the show and building up everything and making sure everybody's synced and everything. And I'm just happy that everything went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Now we're able to do another one.
Yeah.
It must have felt like being a kid again, like just like the first, real, just like joy and love came back. I mean, I'm not saying it ever went anywhere, but you guys get into a groove of playing shows. It's your job, but then you're away from it for so long. You come back, and I'm just assuming, I'm not a musician myself, but I'm assuming it just feels, just that reinvigorated, just love of it. It must have been so awesome.
Yeah. It was. For me personally, it kind of felt like riding a bike, like again, learning how to ride it again. You just kind of feel like you're gonna fall at first.
Yep.
And then it's just all smooth downhill from there. And yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was just love and fun and just jamming with my guys again. It was amazing.
And I think too, just having the people having a great time, hooting and hollering at you in the crowd, man. It was really weird when we did the live streams, right? Because you play the song, it ends, and dead silence, which was a little bit weird.
Yeah. The cardboard cutouts were semi-loud, which was weird.
The first show we played, they put up like cardboard fans up front, giving the horns, and like high-fiving us and stuff. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was fun at the time to like make fun of it.
Sure.
To have fun with it, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's having people there again. That's really what it was about. It was weird though, having everybody sit. That was the odd part.
That's what I'm excited for, is that as restrictions lift more, being able to have a crowd actually bounce or mosh or push each other around a little bit,
or even just stand for that matter.
Yeah, right. That's I think gonna feel even better. So it's cool because there's more and more to look forward to, which is really awesome.
Pretty soon we're gonna have to test these vaccines out, dude.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna have to test them out, and really it's gonna come down to it. And like, once people are comfortable, and more people are vaccinated and comfortable, then we can go and without our masks and without our social distancing, and test these vaccines out, and like go to a concert and
play 7 minutes in heaven.
Oh wow, spit on each other and
exactly.
And share the venue microphones with the other bands and
Mark my words, Kevin, you and I will mosh together at like a Hatebreed show again.
Yes, absolutely.
In Renton again.
What? Okay, so you guys have always been, like champions of the local scene, even from that song, Welcome to Seattle. This has been a really hard, rough time for local venues, and the local scene and stuff. What is your prediction coming out of this? And how do you guys feel about the local scene as we're coming out of this COVID-19 thing?
This is a tricky question. I think that there are some bands who have stayed active through this and just vigilant and on it and killing it. And then I think there are bands who also utilize this opportunity to woodshed and to create a bunch of new material. So my optimistic hope is that at least from a musical standpoint, we're going to be looking at like a new renaissance about a year from now of just, I know we kind of beat people to the punch on this one, but a year from now, every band that was locked inside is going to put out that record that they made.
Yep.
And it's painful and beautiful and great. And
Yep.
I look forward to that. The venues are going to have a tougher time, but I think what it's going to take, honestly, is a lot of bands who used to be Saturday night bands swallowing their pride and going and helping out smaller venues on a Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
And being like, hey, we're going to throw a kick-ass rock show on a Wednesday night and bring you guys everything we got. I think that's how we work together to move forward, I think.
Cool.
Plus, lost breeds, like people get determined to rebuild, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like if it's not the same, it's going to be something maybe newer and better, and something that maybe we needed as a community, musical community, that we haven't had. And yeah, I think it's positive is that there's now an opportunity for us to make it what we want it to be.
Cool. Well, before we go into a couple songs, you know, that personally, there's been a lot of really a ton of adversity in this last year and couple months, but there's also been a lot of positive in all of our personal lives. I know. Yeah. Going around the room, and let's start with you, Rob. What's one positive thing that's happened in your personal life aside from the band within the last year and a couple months?
I think for me, the biggest thing has been, really getting to have a chance to have more of a focus on intentional time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it comes to, creating with the band or, work or even just personal hobbies and stuff. Just thinking about you never really know what tomorrow's going to bring. So
yeah,
take what you can today, and, doesn't make sense to work 8 hours straight. Maybe in some cases it does. I feel thankful that luckily a lot of what I get to do is more in the consulting side. So
sure.
Kind of gives me a little extra window to really space things out and just look at life differently. Like why think back to the traditional ways of working, for example. But also at the same time too, really seeing, for me personally, wanting to go out there and figure out, what are some good ways you can help people, even if it's take somebody out for a sandwich or whatever, and 10 minutes just have a laugh or something. Like that kind of stuff really just, feels like it means a lot more.
Absolutely, man. The little things. Wyatt, what about you, man?
Man, honestly, I'm just grateful for where I'm at right now. I think anybody who kind of followed our band and followed the making of this record knew that when we first started making this record, I wasn't in a good place in any aspect of my life, and I was having a really hard time. And through therapy and love and support of the people around me, and my son and my beautiful wife and all of that, I really was able to, for lack of a better way of saying it, get my shit together and be really wildly happy in life. So it's kind of interesting because as we close this chapter and release this into the world, it's such a dark record, and being on the other side of it, it means so much more to me because I'm not in the middle of it anymore.
Yeah.
So over the last year, learning how to be truly deeply happy is something that I'm really grateful for, man.
I don't want to pry too much into your personal stuff or anything, but I have to ask, do you think that this reset and maybe being away from the grind of being shows and everything and allowing yourself some space, has that helped you?
I mean,
kind of helped you work on your shit?
Luckily, I mean, I had gotten into therapy and kind of figured my shit out before the pandemic hit.
Cool.
But I think by not having the distraction of the constant hustle and the constant, okay, we're going here on this date and here on this date, and everything is a moving piece constantly, I think it gave me a chance to approach everything we did with this record, whether it's the music videos or the messaging or anything like that, or the outreach to fans, with such a deeper level of gratitude and clarity. And I think that's really the importance. So I think whereas, when we did an interview with you when Welcome to Seattle came out, I think we were all really burned out around then because we were just hustle all the time.
Yeah.
And now everything is very from a place of positivity, and I feel like you can feel that in the room. Like we're never not smiling and laughing when we're with each other, because I think we're all grateful for this. So yeah, long story short, I think the pandemic helped reset a lot of the way I view what we do and the importance of what we do.
Awesome. Kyle, what about you, man? What's one positive thing that you are stoked about that's happened in your life in the past year and a couple months?
Well, there's a bunch. There's a lot of really positive things, but I'll kind of pinpoint down to generosity. That's something I'm really grateful for, because actually when the pandemic hit, I got furloughed for a few weeks, which was fine, but it was great in that moment because I was able to give my time back to my family and those I cared about, and then those in need as well, who needed assistance for whatever, whether it was helping move something or whatever, needed 20, 50 bucks, something to help them along. I was able to be more generous throughout that time, and it kind of made me reassess what I'd done throughout the last few years of my life and stuff, and where I was going, where I wanted to be, how I wanted to be, how I wanted to act, and not even how I was perceived by anybody, just how I could look at myself in the mirror and go, I feel good about what I did. And, I'm the only person I have to answer to at the end of the day. I'm the only person I stare at in the mirror. And being able to be giving my family more of my attention and my time and my undivided attention was huge. We were able to spend more time together, do things, go places, and just spend time doing stuff.
Yeah.
With each other. That was fantastic. But then just helping out others who weren't even necessarily asking for help, but they needed it, and just being there to be a hand for when they asked was one of the greatest things. I feel like 2020 was a great year. Okay, it sounds really weird, but all things aside,
totally understand.
I'm there with you.
It was
personally,
because I was able to reassess everything that I had done wrong, so that I could redo and change to where I could move forward, going the right direction. It was a total reset, and it was wipe the slate clean and just start new kind of thing.
And Malcolm.
I had a daughter. I didn't have a daughter. My wife had her daughter.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and that's easily the best thing that came out of this year. And it's
pandemic baby.
I mean, it's funny when you both get laid off and you're stuck home for 5 months in a 1-bedroom apartment, you're gonna have a kid. And there's only so many rooms you can go into and things you can do, so you get past the time. And man, my daughter just brought a whole new light into my life, and a whole new motivation, and a whole new fire. And anything I do, I'm doing because I just want to give her an interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
If she can do it,
That's awesome.
It's easily the best thing that came out of this year.
Well, I appreciate all you guys. You're kind of giving me a little, kind of light into what this last year's been like, not just for the band, but for you guys personally. So we are going to go into some of the music, though. Again, the album is called Silver Bullet, and it is available this Friday. Is that right?
Hell yeah.
This Friday. 4th. So, and you can stream it. Are there physical copies available for pre-order, stuff like that?
So you can get physical copies on our website, which is WOATW.com. Physical copies also at the merch booth and all that good stuff at upcoming events. And then other than that, just digital retailers.
Tell me about Swan Song and Drag the Waters, guys.
Oh man, what do you want to know? I mean, Drag the Waters is a murky adventure into the unknown. It is literally a. It's.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear.
Literally,
that's an explanation.
Straight out of the chorus. It's like the truth I try so hard to hide, and it's there's sometimes this part of us that we maybe get lost in, project outward. At least is what it is to me, and I don't know. I feel like it's one of the first times that we really invited, at least since I've been a part of the band, it was one of the first times we welcomed people into our darkness a little bit.
Okay.
You know, in a kind of a newer way. Maybe one that they share and can understand, relate to.
Yeah. So you said Swan Song and Drag.
Yeah, we're gonna play Swan Song and then Drag the Waters. I was just, just give me an idea of the VH1 behind the music.
I'll give you the boldly honest answer.
Sure.
A big theme that was involved with this record is that I have struggled with my mental health and depression for the majority of my life since I was an adolescent. Mm-hmm. And some very tumultuous, awful stuff happened. And long story short, I made this active decision that I was not going to end my own life. And Swan Song was me sitting there writing myself a letter to carry on. Wow. And it was the advice I was giving myself when I had a clearer head.
Yeah.
So I wrote Swan Song almost 4 years ago. It was written like right after Welcome to Seattle came out.
Yeah.
And so that was like kind of my turning point. So of me getting my head into a better place. So Swan Song is to date the most important piece of music to me that we've ever created, just because it's so visceral and honest. And it's just, it comes from like that darkest place that you could possibly go. So
I'm going to speak for the listeners now, and I'm sure there's tons of people that are listening and that have been there where you're talking about now, but we're so happy that you didn't make that decision and you're still here and you're able to sing about it and share that. That's amazing that you made it to the other side and you're feeling so much better and healthier and happier.
I appreciate that. It's one of those things where I think it's important to talk about, because I think that we all struggle, and it's a big part of why we released the music video for it, and we thought that it'd probably be pretty controversial because it does not tap dance around the issue. It's very much a gritty story about suicide and choices, and
it's not glorifying it, and it's just being real and honest.
Yeah, and we weren't sure if the general public would understand the message behind it.
Sure.
And then we were shocked that everybody, every person that talked to us or was in a comment thread had something positive to say about it.
Good.
And a message from it that was very accurate. Like, we didn't really run into any controversy or any weirdness. We also, anybody who bought it on any platform for the remainder of that month, we donated that to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So yeah, it was kind of our opportunity to give something back on that. And I'm really glad that it was super well received.
All right. Well, I'm so glad that you guys were able to share this and that we can get the behind the music. So here's Swan Song and Drag the Waters, brand new music by Wyatt Olney The Wreckage. Silver Bullet available this Friday. It's Loud and Local Stay Home Sessions.
In the machine, haunting hallways where our bodies used to be, reliving decades of decay, a lifetime we had thrown away, reaching back towards what we forsake. Drag the waters and you will find the truth I've tried so we cast. And there's a broken, bleeding memory of a life I used to know. Now I can pull this blade out from my back and I will return it to you. Drag the waters and you will find the truth I've tried so hard to hide. And I'm a villain wrapped in a cheap disguise. I'm lost inside this labyrinth of lies. The truth I've tried so hard to hide. And I'm a villain wrapped in a cheap disguise. I'm lost inside this labyrinth of lies. Until the end, I will bear this weight, though the pain seems more than I can take. Is this where I break? As the sun sets and my back gives way, I grit my teeth and I will find my strength to forge on through the night into the day. Give me the strength to carry on when my resolve is dead and gone. We're in the eye of the storm. Now these vultures will swarm. This cannot be my
That was Drag the Waters and Swan Song, brand new music by Wyatt Olney and The Wreckage, Silver Bullet, available via Fuzzy Rump Records this Friday. And this is Loud and Local Stay Home Sessions. Wyatt Olney and The Wreckage. I'm assuming you guys got big plans coming up, right? The world's opening up. I'm sure you guys are you have stuff planned that you can't share with us.
There are a few things. Let's just say people who listen to us who don't live in Seattle will see more of us. So that's going to be fun.
Nice. I like it. Well, that's good, man. I'm stoked that, there's going to be a return and a revitalization of music scene. I feel like it's just going to be just this insane return in like a way that I don't know. At least that's what I hope.
City renaissance.
A renaissance. That's exactly the word. I was brain farting. Thank you very much. A renaissance. Yes. Rain City Renaissance. All right, guys. So this has been, a hell of a year, both good and definitely crushingly bad. The pandemic, it's brought so much adversity to us, but there's also been a lot of good music that we both, has been released or that we've rediscovered, or that we just, go back to like an old favorite. Whether it be, turn the news on and there's negativity out there, or, the raging pandemic. Imagine you're having a shit day, and it's not that hard to imagine. What's an album or an artist that has gotten you through this?
Oh man, yeah, maybe that guy. I got two quick ones.
Yeah.
One's been that's been kicking some butt on their own. Featured in the new Dave Grohl documentary. They're called Rat Key.
Yes.
They have a new record, a release called The Green Room, and it's been kicking some butt. And they're super punky and energetic, and just kind of really take me out of like whatever like my head is stuck circling around at that time. It kind of lets me just lock into something that's just like raw and fun and pure, that, and then Howard Jones from Killswitch, or formerly of Killswitch Engage, his group Light the Torch, has been one that I've been blasting. Their record Revival came out a couple years back, and man, it's just been a year of ups and downs, and like extreme ups and funky downs, and that record got me through all of them. So.
And has Baby Shark gotten your daughter through it?
Oh, my man, she is 5 months old on the 4th. We have not gotten to the Baby Shark yet.
Okay.
But we've been doing a lot of the Fugees. A lot of Sade, trying to show her strong women musicians and women talent.
Yeah, that's
as
awesome.
well as a little bit of Huey Lewis and the News when I can sneak it in.
That's awesome.
Because the heart of rock and roll is still beating.
Yes. I need a new drug. Yes. Hell yeah. Kyle, what about you, man?
I'm going to also be that guy, and I got two. One, local, which was, I went back and rediscovered The Bright Side of Dim by The Mothership, because there were a few key songs on that record that years ago meant the world to me. And then during the pandemic, I was like, I need to listen to this again. Listen to that whole record again, and honestly, I can't stop putting it on. It's fantastic.
Easy.
And a little birdie said there's new 10 Miles Wide on the way. So
exactly, I know. I can't be that much more excited.
Yeah.
And then national-wise, I went back and rediscovered Coheed and Cambria's Ascension and Dissension.
Cool.
Two-part record. That thing, that got me off the edge of the cliff multiple times. So that entire album is fantastic.
Nice.
I will always champion this record because I think it's fantastic. If you enjoy records, much like our new record, that are about making it through trauma and finding new reasons to live and appreciate life, Holy Hell by Architects is, in my estimation, one of the best heavy records of the last decade. It's so good and so painful, and every time I listen to it, thousands of times through, I still get chills. It's so good.
All right. I thought you were going to say Miley Cyrus or Machine Gun Kelly.
Bro, I'm just going to put this out there. Miley Cyrus released a banger of an album last year, and I think it kind of outdid every heavy band last year.
Okay. All right.
Real good.
Yeah. What he's saying is interview's over.
I'm sorry, Miley Cyrus did great, and I've also liked Machine Gun Kelly for like 10 years. So
Dude, I'm working with Miley and Taylor Swift.
Yep. Team Swift right here.
That was also last year. Wreckage is this year.
Move over, MGK. Rob, what about you, man?
Well, there's actually, I guess I'm going to be that guy too.
Yeah, we're these guys. I'm the only one who wasn't a dick.
You actually championed 3.
Oh, that's
true.
Go fuck yourself.
That's cool.
I've
That's
got
cool.
2 pairs actually.
Let's do
So
it.
the first is, believe it or not, most of, I'd say a strong part of my musical influence is really tied into jam bands like Grateful Dead and Fish.
Yeah.
So people go back and see videos like well before I was even conceived or attempted to be conceived several times and then finally made it through. It's kind of cool just going back and watching the old, just seeing people have fun, just being out at the festivals and, the drumming and their artistic expression.
Yeah.
And then it also made me think back to, I guess tying this back into Drag the Waters. I lost my dad in 2012 to suicide, even though it officially was an unattended drowning. So it really had a deep meaning to me of really just looking kind of below the surface and, just really finding something special, even share one decision was kind of unfortunate, but getting to just appreciate the bigger whole really, made me just kind of enjoy that moment in a weird sense. And brought me back to 2 of my favorite albums as a young kid. I remember, growing up in Northwest Ohio, had my first $10, from allowance or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember buying my first heavy metal albums. And I was looking at that, and I picked up Def Leppard's Hysteria.
Nice. Okay.
Destruction.
Yeah.
And I remember turning to my mom and saying, am I going to go to hell because I'm listening to this?
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be there with you.
Well,
Yes,
not just because you're listening to this, but also you are listening to this and you are going to hell. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think, when you look back at the, especially the opening to Paradise City for the music video, just the stadium crowds and, the drums kicking it off was really something cool.
The album's coming out this Friday. Obviously, we would love to support you guys. What's the best way that we can support you guys during this time when we can't necessarily go up and, mosh to your songs in person or whatever? What's the best way to support you guys right now, today?
Head to our website, WOATW.com. Pre-order the album. Drops on Friday. Well, you can either get a digital download or you can get the physical copy.
Yep.
We even will do a signed copy for you. I think it's like an extra $10 or something. We also have hot sauces out.
Hot sauce.
We have 2 different hot sauces made from a local guy up in Everett. Hot Sauce Kurt.
Hot sauce Kurt.
This is fantastic hot sauces, and I've known him for years. And we started a collab last year and came out with Binge, which is a spicy garlic verde, and then Hell and Back, which is a kind of a sweet heat honey habanero.
Nice.
And that's the best way. If you want to support us, we love you for it. Here's some good stuff for you.
One other way, though, if anybody out there, if anybody out there is down, if you're down to buy our record on release week, especially release day through iTunes or Amazon or anything like that,
That'd be
that
awesome.
really does make a huge difference, especially because, in this new era of how to calculate streams and everything, how cool would it be if we could chart on Billboard? And I don't even think we're that far. I don't think it's that much of a pipe dream at this point. I think it's doable. So if everybody out there could please snag a copy of the record through a digital retailer, that would make all the difference in the world.
So then don't go to our website. Buy them from the digital retailer. That's the best avenue.
That too.
Yeah, I think ultimately what they're saying is come to our show on June 11th at Tony V's, okay?
And you
buy
can
yourself
okay.
a physical
Yeah.
copy to go with your digital one you bought that morning.
So is that the official like record release show then?
Yeah, the 11th, we're going back to Tony V's.
Awesome.
And we're bringing Glenn Cannon and the Damage Done to play support on that. And we're going to bring out some fun guests during our set. It's
Killer.
going to be a good.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
awesome. And yeah, man, it's good. It's kind of sentimental because it's almost to the date 1 year from when we planned our first album release. Pre-COVID, we had an album release planned last June. It was ready to drop, ready to be the event of events that we were hoping for, and now we finally get to do it. So it's a little ceremonious, and we're ready to shake our genitals, you know.
Yes. Shake each other's genitals. That would be an extra part of the video, the extra part of the performance.
And if you buy a copy of the album, you can shake Malcolm's genitals too.
I mean, we all got vaccinated. Why not?
I shake it yourself.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you so much for doing this. We're going to go into Magna Carta and War Within. Before we do, why don't you break these down?
Oh, man.
Well, I think
cool?
what encapsulated Magna Carta, you know, Magna Carta wasn't even on the radar for the record originally, and then because of the world being locked down, our tour being canceled, people losing their jobs,
And their minds.
and we're all trying to figure it out and go from being productive and seeing each other every week and doing the thing to, okay, what do we do? What are we able to do?
Yep.
You know, and what we were able to do was write this tune, and I don't know. I think it encapsulates really just our struggle to fucking just keep it together through all this, you know, and really soldier ahead and hope that we survive the night, you know.
Yeah. And War Within was just kind of this perfect way to set the stage for what we were going to address on the record, and just kind of this like embodiment of darkness that we all fight, and this refusal to give in to darkness and just always ready to wage war against it. And that kind of became the mantra of this, like that opening tagline, and the fact that the first lyric of the entire record is "Let's wage war."
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in it a lot. And when it was funny, we were trying to pick singles for the record, and we sent a copy to Ryan Castle, and Ryan Castle was like, "So your record's pretty good. I think War Within is the best song your band's ever done. You should forget everything else you've ever done." And I was like, "That's the best advice ever. I love it." He was like, "That song is the song."
So we immediately decided to make that the next release.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So thanks, Ryan Castle, because other people seem to really like
Hey, your Bulldogs.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's cool too because Ryan Healy at Hemp Films shot the video for us.
Yeah.
What the video is about, it's about our desire to die on film. Because I think we all did a great job.
I get to shoot Malcolm in the face. It's great.
And I finally got to knock Wyatt in the teeth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
In my face.
Yeah. A fun
Great.
fact for everybody who watches the music video for War Within. While we were filming it, Kyle knocked out half of my front tooth. And so I got to get lovely crowns on my front teeth.
Nice.
So thanks to Kyle for beating my face in with a rock.
I just helped him get what he already needed.
Here it is, Magna Carta and War Within, brand new music by Wyatt Olney The Wreckage. Silver Bullet available on Friday. Pre-order it, buy the album on release day. Let's get them as much support as we can. Represent the Northwest and represent and support our hometown boys and Wyatt Olney The Wreckage. Thanks, guys.
We love you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
You too, guys.